Hello, Virgo. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, your horoscope for July 2025. It is a month that brings some electric change into your career, and it could also be extremely positive change, or your reputation and social standing is getting an exciting electric upgrade in the month of July. You might also notice that you're extremely decisive and you're willing to make changes, cut and end in several parts of your life that you no longer need or want. And just coming into July, that last week in June, you're really on your A game with that kind of fortunate action, good timing, decision making power that only extends further into the month of July. We're going to talk about how this month looks for you, individual, day by day, week by week breakdown. So stay tuned for how to time your best life in the month of July based on your sign. If you're listening for your rising sign, it is about the character in the simulation. It often describes circumstantial change in one's life and can be very accurate for a general reading. The sun is about your career and purpose matters and represents the truer you, kind of like the actress is the sun, and the role that he plays is the ascendant character. Now, your moon can also connect you to home matters, like where you live, what you're doing in your domestic life, who you live with. Those are lunar stories. And so often we look at our moon sign, like I had an eclipse to my moon in March, and my landlord decided to sell the house, and it's moved me. I'm moving this month. So that's stuff to look for as well. By the way, before we do your sign in great detail in the next 25 to 30 minutes of content, it would help if you want to know more about me. And that is, I have my Sky Reader class coming up to time your best life and be your own astrologer. 6 weeks with me. I've taught it 5 times before. This is the 6th time. We're going to teach it in September, October, which is my typical teaching time. However, some of you may be disappointed. I'm not able to teach it in July, August like I had planned due to my move and some writing project deadlines. And I realized I just can't do that all and give you my attention. My attention will be fully yours in Sky Reader in the fall. So come join me. It's a high touch class. I'm there to listen to you, help answer your questions. I will put a team together as well on my Facebook community or WhatsApp community, also to perhaps be able to answer your questions so you have support beyond me. But I'm giving you the basics of astrology to time your best life. The best I can do in 6 weeks by understanding your natal chart first, the fundamentals of astrology, and then in the last couple modules, some ancient timing tools that are easy to use even for a beginner. Check the description box below if you want to sign up. You can't sign up yet. What you can do is get on the early bird discount wait list. Maybe the sign up will be ready by then, but I doubt it. And you can also check out the course description on my website. All right, so let's get going. Number one, Leos. Virgos. Been a day, guys, Virgos. The thing you need to know most of all is Mars. Mars is important to you because Mars is in the sign of Virgo. Mars is in the Virgo sign or space of the sky from June 17th until August 6th. And he is with the South Node. And I'm going to show you the sky, but I want to give you a gist of that. A lot of Virgos are going through a period in those weeks of letting go, releasing, surrendering some part of themselves or their life that is no longer needed. No one wants to put the white flag of surrender up. We always resist, but some things in your life are changing. Virgo sun, a career related change. Virgo moon, home related changes. But Virgo rising, any part of your life, including things that impede your health, patterns or habits that aren't good for you, are things to do with letting go of an old identity. I'm Virgo risings, you want to fill in the blank. I am what? I am married, not anymore. I'm letting it go. I am employed, not anymore. I'm letting it go. It's that release and surrendering an I am identity for the Virgo rising. And because the South Node is here with Mars, it only happens this way once every 18 years. So it's particularly important for you to realize it is an important time to say, I let go, I let God. Or I release, I surrender, something good is trying to happen. I'm not in charge. Jesus, take the wheel, Carrie Underwood. So you're in one of those vibes, right? So it already started before this month began. I started on June 17th. And that surrender and releasing energy is very powerfully with you until August the 6th. That's the backdrop. You must be aware of it. You're going to feel it whether I told you to or not. And often when Mars is with you, you're also very decisive. You're very choosing with great power, deciding, taking actions. You're on your A game. And that's true from June 17th to August 6th. And you'll notice with the South Node, you keep thinking, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to surrender? So you're in the thick of that energy. You're choosing, deciding to let go of stuff in the month of July. Now, let's get rolling in the sequential order of events during the month of July for your greater understanding. As the month begins, Venus is moving through the sign of Taurus. Now, Venus has been moving into Taurus through Taurus since June the 6th, and she will complete her journey by July the 4th. This means that you've been getting used to her in the 9th house. This can give you a more deep appreciation of spiritual philosophy. Women can be advisors, women can be supportive of you. You might find yourself having a sense of some wealth or luck energy, Lakshmi coming through, kind of building up during the month, an energy of support. It's good for third long-term committed love stories, marriages. They can thrive under this transit as well. But as Venus is moving through the 9th house, you might also have been seeking a lot of guidance from a counselor, a therapist, a coach of some sort. And that energy has been working on your behalf as well. And then at the very end of this, on July the 1st through the 4th, Venus is really coming into that exciting electric shock of converging with Uranus, pretty close to the well star algol, but also decapitation off with their heads, So there's something going on that's really intense, electric, but positive. For this is an earth trine that favors you, Virgos, and gives you something good despite the surprise. It's not a negative jack in the box. You're going, yay, that's positive. Let me take a sip from my kombucha. I promise you it's not alcohol. It's still only 3 p.m. here. And what I would say to you is that let go, let God can be favorable when Venus and Uranus come together, because you may have a eureka or an insight or an aha. Again, kind of like July 3rd and 4th, it's very intense. That allows for you to release something that is no longer necessary in your life. A person, a place, a thing, a situation, a habit, take your pick. A shocking surprise may come through the first few days of July. This positive with an opportunity for being hired. This is the human resource department. This is a hiring department of a company. You might get a raise or promotion from the human resources, or you might get a new job or an interview opportunity. It's exciting. It's electrifying. You can't believe your luck. It's the first 5 days of July. In the other energy of this, you might have a surprising opportunity or development regarding a sibling too older than you, or opportunity for travel to a foreign land or shore, and exciting developments in book publishing or legal matters that are favoring you and unexpected, positive in some way. While Venus is with Uranus here, you may also find yourself thinking that this could, or I could tell you this might benefit your finances. And the reason is that Venus rules your house of income, earnings, and possessions, and electric shocks of change that favor you financially are also in this part of your heavens in the first 5 days of July. Then Venus will trundle forward into Gemini around July the 5th. So the 4th, 5th, it transits both days. And now she's in your career space. Now be aware of this possibility. She's going to be here till the end of July, July 30th. And if you are wanting to get a raise, get a promotion, get a new job, shine in the workplace, have the boss love you, stand at the top of the sky and get celebrity type attention, this is your time. This is great for you to be at the top of your game and really receive a lot of benefits and luck in career-related matters. And she's up at the top of the sky. And as soon as she enters, she hooks up with Neptune, Saturn in a positive sextile, and Pluto in a trine. This mini triangle is extremely fortunate, called a miniature grand trine. It brings ease, luck, and grace. Some possibilities are employment related, because employer-employee relationships are the 6th house. You might hire someone if you're an employer type, or you might get hired off of this. This is also really auspicious for chunky money matters, meaning a sign-on bonus, a severance package should you leave a job, ability to invest in stocks of a company, to get a job in which you get chunks of money, more like commission revenue that you don't earn directly, like derivative monies as well. There's just something nice about this whole darn picture. It can benefit your longer range stability and your finances. It can change your tax structures, and it can open up some positive developments with shared revenue with a significant other, whether it's a spouse or a business partner. And if you have to eliminate a debt, pay off a credit card, and this is going to open up a possibility of a payment plan or a new way to do it that surprises you and is surprisingly powerful and transformative. Certainly Venus and Pluto are a bit of a wealth yoga, a wealth trine. And so I think you could really receive some success in debt elimination and maybe a new approach to your long-range finances, including retirement monies and savings during this period of time. So Venus is hooking that story up early on, like July 4th, 5th through to about the 7th. And watch what Uranus does to help her. After your sort of, I don't know, ninth house surprises, Uranus is right back in the thick, only 3 degrees away from Venus on July the 7th. Surprise, exciting developments regarding work, career, reputation, trining the money of the chunky money house of other people's money, and connected to Pluto. Now, if you are somebody who potentially would be in line for some inheritances from an elder family member with cognitive decline, Saturn and Neptune in the house of death, this could be a story. And the shocking surprise from the house of father figures could indicate a male figure who's elderly and some bequeathment money or something like that, especially because the moon will be in the house of legacy wealth at the time that the Uranus ingress occurs. And there may be a transfer of wealth towards you from the family of origin, from the parents in some way, or from the grandparents or up the line coming through the sky. Now, some of you, that's totally irrelevant. Your parents are dead, your grandparents are dead, never mind. But just for some of you, this could have meaning. Similarly, money coming through from marriage relationships and settlements regarding finances and regarding shared property and shared monies could also be a big positive and accelerating energy that feels pretty exciting and good for you, has an element of liberation to it as well. Like you do have the North Node moving through your 7th house through to mid next summer, and it needs you to grow a bigger pot for your relationship. You know, if you're in a committed love story, it's under a duration of time till next summer that you're going to find you have to really work on it. Like you need to pay attention. You can't let it lie fallow. You need to expand your attention. You need to work on considerations for your partner. You need to work on new growth of mutual goals together for the success of the relationship. And this is going to draw your attention sort of to that part of the chart because Venus exalts your 7th house and she's got some surprises up her sleeve here in around July 7th. Is it good or bad? Neither. It just means things are really moving and shaking, not only in the money, work, debt, and career axis, but also in the axis of your relationship regarding longer term commitment stories. Like you could get, oh my God, hey, everybody, I'm getting married. I got a wedding proposal, engagement, something like that. As we move into the rest of the month, next stories are next, you're going to notice another narrative picking up steam. That is going to be that around the time of July 10th, you're going to see a full moon in the sign of Capricorn at 18 degrees of Capricorn, which is your romance house, 5th house. It's a house of pregnancy and fertility, romantic love, as I said, I think, creative and entrepreneurial projects, and your children. Full moon is fulfillment from a seed planted on December 30th. So I have a Virgo friend and her daughter's coming to visit from London. The seed was planted probably back in December 30th through January for the visit. So a fulfillment of a seed planting regarding children is in her story, right? You get it, right? So where is there a fulfillment, a fullness here? The moon is happening on the 10th. It's at 18 Capricorn. It does activate Chiron in the 8th house. It can really also help you with matters related to karma and children, romance and karma, matters to financial situations and children and romantic partners. But all said and done, it is a good fortune house where the fulfillment is happening, and it will be positively trining you. And so you're going to like the feeling of it with a whole sign trine from Mars. You'll make some decisions and take some actions connected to love, romance, sexuality, children, creativity, and entrepreneurial endeavors sometime around July 10th. Add 2 or 3 weeks. So the rest of July. And whatever you do then will unfold over the course of 6 months. Pregnancy can happen under a full moon or a new moon in the 5th house. So with fertility issues here, be aware of that. And with Uranus in the 9th house, unexpected situations regarding children or grandchildren are on the horizon for some of you. Maybe you're going to find out you'll be a grandparent, or maybe you're going to find out you're going to be a parent. That could occur off this lunation. And when we move off that moon And one more thing about the full moon in the fifth house, it's like a spotlight in fun, joy, play, and pleasure. Like what can bring that to you in life? Where do you want to fulfill some real enjoyment, inspiration, and enthusiasm? Why are you getting out of bed in the morning, darn it? That kind of thing. So keep your eye on that story. There is something because Mars exalts your fifth house and he's with you in Virgo and he trines the fifth house. There's like, try to find the seed of inspiration, fun, enjoyment, true enthusiasm in your life, whether it's to be artistic or creative or to love your job or follow your bliss or be truly in love with someone or have a great time with your kids, or maybe parenthood is your true passion. I don't know. But there's something about that deeper archetype of, taking action, making decisions to encounter the blissful, joyful, childlike wonder and awe of life. Right. So it's the opposite of working too hard, right? It's the opposite of taking time to find the joy spark again. And that's something that a lot of you might be looking at very squarely as this moon on July 10th add 3 weeks, or so begins to show you the new direction or the meaning of that full moon. Now, on July 11th, and this is lasting all the way through the month of August, but it starts to be very tightly active. July the 11th, Saturn sextiling Pluto. Now, this Saturn sextiling Pluto at 11th and 12th is as Saturn gets ready to turn retrograde. We'll be doing a video on the retrograde, so we don't need to worry about the deep dive of that. But as he turns retrograde on the 11th, 12th, he begins to talk to Pluto ever more intimately as he moves in the direction of Pluto. And this is indicating something to do with the following themes, okay? Rental properties, pets, debts, real, like monetary and karmic, health, and work and job. And all of those things are getting a strong stability archetype from Saturn that allows you to transform these themes in enduring and lasting ways in alignment with longer goals and visions you may have. Some of this could be happening like I can pay off a debt because my partner's money is so successful. I can pay off a debt because I receive an inheritance from an elder in my family system. I can move towards work that I really want that gives me money that I don't have to hustle for, but comes in chunks like commissions, etc. Not a salary or wage, right? Commissions are different, or royalty income or ad revenue from YouTube. Those are stories of new kinds of money that you may begin to consider. And, even though you're looking at it, and it's in the backdrop, July 11th, 12th through the end of August, it's more acutely, even more intensely there next year. This is almost a trial run. On July the 21st to the 24th, but you can feel it as early as the 17th of July to the 25th. The cosmic lovers, Venus and Mars, are having a lover spat. Now, let's put them in the sky for you to look at. Here we have around the 17th, Venus is in your career space. You're getting a glow up. You should be anyway. And you're looking good in the eyes of the world and your employer, and you're liking your job, or you're getting good money off your job in sudden shocking ways. And that's all there. And then all of a sudden, Venus is like talking to Mars with a bit of an attitude, right? She's applying to Mars here. Mars is you. It's your sun, your career. He's there with your moon, your home, or he's there with your rising sign, any part of your life, including your body and your identity. Now, it could be burnout. Like, I don't think so, because she's having a good time up there, but maybe there's a moment of just kind of snapping, especially with Uranus, and realizing, I'm done. Like, my knuckles, I can't take this anymore. I'm white knuckling this job, or something about it. I'm so tired anymore. It's not good for my health. Certainly there's depletion with the South Node for the ascendant. You might be too tired and you may quit your job, but you will work out in the long run. So quit job energy could be here. But on the other hand, it could also be something to do with, like, you're falling for someone in the workplace and there's tension there because you're attracted to a workmate or a colleague or someone in the work environment. And there's a kind of a dynamic sizzle and a hot energy between you and someone in the work situation. You are very Martian, right? You should be able to make decisions and cut, end, and sever, but you're under a nodal destiny factor of South and North Node. And this creates kind of a T-square to Venus at the top of the chart with a nodal axis. And something's a bending of the node of fate, Venus. We'll be covering this in more detail in my in individual astrology stuff each month. I do weekly videos and stuff. But I mean, she's bending the North Node. So is she? My brain. Is she bending the North Node? Yeah. So she's spending the North Node in your seventh house. And My brain is so tired today, guys. Give me 30 seconds to make sure she's which node she's bending, because my brain is like having an issue. Yeah, she's bending that node. Okay. So she's bending the North Node in the house of long-term committed love and the house of weddings. So there may be something going on around relationship status, relationship at the height of the sky, exalted love and long-term commitment, and the bending of the node. Is it time to end the relationship? Is it time to leave it? Is it time to escalate it to another level of commitment? There's kind of a pivot point going on here on July 17th to about the 26th that you're feeling this intensity for sure. Like no two ways about it. Venus is dominated by Mercury, backroom deals and negotiations, hidden variables, a solitude, things going on behind the scenes. You could get an ideal new job contract that surprises you out of this, and it's all just a decision to say yes or no. And that could be a story as well. If you're looking for a job, energies in your sky. I mean, come on, Venus is trining Athena, Miss Paperwork herself, in sort of like the sixth house. It could put you in a very administrative, paperworky, legalese type work if you don't do that already, especially with Gemini. And you might just be finding yourself kind of engaged in paperwork or getting ready to sign on the dotted line for some kind of new job situation. And there's just a lot of excitement and tension and sizzle around this whole thing. Some of you are just changing the job description or the actual place of the job during the month of July. Now, you'll notice that Jupiter is in your 11th house of good spirit. He'll be there for a year. And so when it comes to matters of job, Jupiter in your 11th house is going to indicate the possibility for lucky breaks and growth and expansion, wealth and prosperity through favors from friends and people you know that allow you to step into greater success in your work and career financially. He'll also expand your social groups and circles, including through work and work-related colleagues or just new social groups. But I like that he's there to give you luck in career gains. Well, Venus is in your 10th house. So July has got a really nice feeling around career success, one way or the other. Even if you're leaving a job, a better one shows up. If you are looking for a job, the perfect one shows up. That's what it feels like here to me. So on July the 22nd, 23rd, around that time, depends on your time zone, watch the sun moving into the sign of Leo. And after being like spotlighting career gains, colleagues, friends, benefactors, after being there for a month, now July 21st to 22nd, 23rd to the third week of August, the spotlight is in the 12th house. And that's a solitude place. That's being alone. That's sleeping at night. That's meditating. That's things you do behind the scenes that no one witnesses. Mercury is emails, phone calls, text messages. So again, you got a great sky all month of July for applying for jobs, and even into August, changing your job. It's good, especially in July. And so, you might be busy, like setting up resumes, arranging interviews, negotiating behind the scenes for improvements in your current work situation, or others negotiating on your behalf. But it's a very interesting time because the sun in the 12th house illuminates your addictions and self-undoing and allows you to look more squarely at them. So almost put a freaking flashlight or a high beam light in the house of the ways you are sabotaging your life. I don't like the word addictions all the time because it has such a heavy quality. It could just be you're really your own worst enemy. You don't need them. You are the one. And so you're falling away from yourself is what it means. And so now the spotlight shows you clearly, you can see so clearly how you are making mistakes that are not necessary because you are defeating yourself. So I like this energy every year. You get it around this time. This is July 22nd or 3rd, add a month, go back to last summer, what was going on around self-defeating patterns that were like highlighted or spotlighted. You might be able to remember a few things if you think back. I have a Virgo that I know who got all caught up in basically understanding that through actions and things that went on, her partner found all the wine bottles under the bed and discovered she might have a drinking problem, So there's like a thing where the illumination was there last summer. So illuminating it doesn't have to be a drinking problem. It doesn't have to be a substance use. It could be any self-defeating habit and pattern. So there's an illumination so you can see it more clearly, so you can release it more easily in the month of July 22nd or so through to the third week of August. As the sun ingresses into your 12th house, however, there's something that's about to happen that's that's really, really unusual with Mercury. I'm going to get to that in a minute. That takes you back to 2017, 18 in the house of self-undoing. And so that's that rare. So it's important that you pay attention. Otherwise, you might be focused on other things like meditation, projects home alone, getting your solitude on, spending time at the ashram, maybe taking a trip to a distant shore where there's sun. And you've been there before because Mercury's retrograde, and you would go back to travel to a place you've traveled before, maybe connected to home, homeland, a family of origin, etc. Now, before we get to the Mercury story, notice that when the sun is ingressed into Leo, he sextiles Uranus. So there's a bit of a positive shock and awe, surprise connected to career and reputation in positive ways, connected to maybe some deals and negotiations going on behind the scenes from maybe a boss favoring you, wanting to negotiate a contract for your better good, or things that are to do with behind the scenes improvements that surprise you in the work and career matters. And if you're self-employed, that's okay too. Things are still getting better, and there may be some unseen variables that contribute to that for you. The trine to Saturn, Neptune as well, when the sun ingresses, indicates some financial increases here, or spotlighting the finances in positive and fortunate ways, especially because the trine to Pluto, this would be a severance package, a sign-on bonus, maybe things with Saturn to do with commissions and money, like connected to shareholding in corporate structures. And look at this Uranus, kaboom. So I don't even know where to go with that. It could be a shocking, surprising variable connected to your reputation and the money that your partner has, but it benefits you greatly. It may not be your thing. I noticed that the sun is opposite Pluto, though, and then there's tension in the workplace. Pluto in the workplace or the employment space could look like a lot like a boss, an authority figure, some competition of authority, sun versus Pluto. And then boom, it plays out with surprises or shocks of change in the work setting. It's also Pluto, what is hidden. The sun shines on him from across the way. There can be really deep clarity around self-undoing patterns that impede your health and get in the way of your success professionally. On July the 24th, 25th or so, new moon at 2 degrees of Leo, new beginnings, fresh starts. Who doesn't want that? In the house of self-undoing addictions and self-defeating habits and patterns. Yep, we had a new moon here last summer too in July. How did it go? This new moon, however, is at 2 degrees, hooks up with shocking breakthroughs and freedoms that Uranus offers from the top of the sky, hooks up to lasting results and getting rid of challenging self-undoing patterns from Saturn, getting rid of addiction, Saturn's conjunct Neptune, escapist patterns and habits. And there's a breakthrough energy coming off this new moon. Now, I mean, I don't know what the breakthrough is. I can't even begin to imagine what it is, but it can really redefine your relationship to self-undoing, and it could unfold over the course of 2 or 3 weeks. You see that there's been a change. And not only that, you see that it's going to be a sustainable over 6 months. It's going to have a long tail. Because it's dry July for some people, they sober October, dry July, dry Jan is a thing, dry July, that maybe some of you are going to go and jumping into the dry July for fun and seeing how that feels, or you might be starting a little later than everybody else, but you might give it a shot. And after July 4th weekend, especially, or July 1st in Canada, some of you Virgos with any kind of overindulgence in any kind of escapist substance will maybe take a look at the dry July concept pretty squarely. And also, if you make money internationally from digital income, borderless revenue, like because you're an internet, you work online or your company is a foreign company, well, there's some positive new beginnings and fresh starts here that will indicate positive financial developments regarding career, regarding earnings, and regarding positions of work and job, and fulfilling those because of the Pluto wealth story in the 6th house. There's a nice little wedge between Pluto, Sun, and Saturn. So some stable changes in the job work situation may be emerging that are also good on your finances, but also more like you enjoy the job. You enjoy what you're doing for a change, perhaps, or in a more easy way of fun and collegiality and enjoying the people you work with. The biggest story here, though, especially regarding comparing notes from the past, is if you had to go back to 2017, 18, and you look at July, August, this is the last time you've had what we're about to talk about. First of all, Mercury retrograding for a dog's frigging age and moving through that Leo sky for a long time. Mercury will have moved into Leo back on June 26th. And stays till September the 2nd. Therefore, he retrogrades here, and that tells us a new story. That's around July the 17th. But as he's in this part of your sky for so long, if you were to go back to 2017 and 18, were you traveling to distant shores? Were you doing a lot of creative communicating, writing, marketing, or selling from home, or in your alone time, or in solitude? Or where are you working on ideas or communications regarding self-undoing and addictions, all that kind of stuff? Because now we see Mercury co-joining the Sun at 9 degrees of Leo on July the 31st, which is a cazimi from the retrograde position. It's extremely powerful. It's a divine download, a shift of perspective, a new understanding regarding 12th house matters, including your past lives. Oh, goodness gracious. I would encourage hypnosis with a trine from Saturn to get rid of an addiction, to see the past life patterns, to understand the roots of your ancestral line and where problems come from. But whether you do that or just see a therapist, because Saturn Neptune could be a therapist who specializes in visionary or trance work or something, you are on your A game of shifting something here on that July 31st, cazimi at 9 degrees of Leo. And I like the semi-sextile to Jupiter because it could indicate that there's a kind of transliteration here, that by working on this deep understanding or shift of perspective and get divine downloads, pay attention to your dreams on July 31st, to your dream journal, your meditations, because you can really shift your relationship to prosperity, because Jupiter and Venus are going to co-join in your chunky money, not your chunky money, in your great gains, windfalls, pennies from heaven, career rewards, career gains in the month of August, which is going to really be good for you. But because you've done some kind of soul work here in July, particularly culminating on July the 31st, those career gains and new friendship circles with better friends than ever before, or colleagues than ever before, are going to get a better glow up as well. You may be revising some long range goals and dreams and plans as well in August, but before you get there, you've got to deal with that cazimi and the insights and downloads it can give you from the subtle realms, from the meditations, the dreams at night, the hypnosis, the therapeutic session. Therapeutic sessions can come off of the 8th house as well, where Saturn and Neptune are flowing over to the cazimi itself. There's something about that cazimi as well. It's a 9th degree. It's exactly 9. That represents closures, endings, completions, the hermit, wisdom, and knowledge. You, in the tarot, you might be coming to the end of a longer cycle of dealing with self-undoing addictions and self-sabotage that you have been dealing with for a long time. And it might really be hitting a very important clear turning point because you've engaged in some kind of spiritual breakthrough and opened up to a new understanding that allows for a shift there. I don't even know what to say. I wouldn't say it's easy to let go of anything that is holding you back, but this time it feels destined or not so difficult, especially with the south node of surrender and Mars in Virgo. You're ready to release things. Don't forget, Mercury's your Lord. He's the planet that rules you. He's got your back. And he's telling Mars in the South Node, help the Virgo native cut away from the ancestral line patterns, the past life patterns, the vows of chastity and poverty, or the things that you've done in your own life that you keep like tripping yourself up, and you don't want that pattern anymore. You're done. It's over. It's complete. Some of you have a kind of celestial superpower for releasing those situations from your life in a kind of flash of Uranian light, like a tower moment, and bang, you're done. You are finished with that sabotaging pattern. That's what I've got for you. I hope that's useful, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Don't forget, This is my channel and you're here. So like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you like this kind of content. I put out lots of videos for all signs. I also do world astrology on my channel. And if you want to check the description box below, Substack, I talk about unplugged, what I really think about the world and the astrology in terms of my bias. And then my bias is not that big. I'm just anti, mass slaughters. And then second of all, I have my, did I tell you about my Zoom community? It's Patreon. You meet me up to 4 times in Zoom, small groups, communities. Usually every meeting has somewhere between 12 to 25, 30 people most. So you get to chat with me. We do teachings, horary rooms, all-purpose Q&A. For $5 a month, you would be getting all of my videos that are on YouTube, and there's at least 20 or 30 a month ad-free early access. And so for $5 a month, you can get that as well. So there's so many ways you can get ad-free on YouTube for whatever they charge you, $10 a month, but you also get early access by being in my Patreon community. All right. Thank you guys. Take care. See you on the next videos.